Two or three things, well, three things that we emphasized today. One, the most important one was we were able to announce that last week we were granted ISO 2 status. ISO 2 status means we've moved from a level 3 by the organization that does that, the Inspection Services Organization. And when the lower the rating you have, the greater the impact you can have on reducing your homeowner's insurance. And in our particular case, going from a level 3 to a level 2, the example I gave this morning was if you own a home of $150,000 in value, which is not too far from the standard of residence and value of the city, and you're paying a $1,200 current premium, you could get as much as a 7% reduction if your insurance carrier abides by the ISO regulations and uses that as a barometer for measuring fire protection. So this all started back in 2013 with a campaign for the half-cent public safety and half-cent quality life tax, where I told people during that campaign if they gave us $100, which is a half-cent for each of those of $10,000 worth of disposable income, that we would try to find a way to give that $100 back. 7% on a $1,200 a year premium for homeowners insurance is $84. So we didn't quite get to 100, but we got to 84 on that example. That doesn't mean everybody, because there are some insurance carriers, for whatever reason, don't even abide by the ISO to influence their rates. I don't know why, but the three major carriers and somewhat certainly middle or larger agencies in the city that I talk to all do abide by it, and certainly those who cover my personal property do. So that's number one. ISO 2 is accomplished because of Bill Ford and his team's hard work. We had to buy a new pumper truck a year ago. We did. We paid cash, $380,000. Number two, they told us we were deficient in the number of firefighters we had on any of the shifts. We hired 6 more firefighters as a result of the half-cent quality or public safety tax. And those two things, along with the projected new fire station starting in about a year, plus hydrants being developed and designed within new subdivisions, water pressures that are as strong as they need to be for fire prevention, has all got us to the point we're now rated ISO 2, which is a good thing. The second thing I announced was that our current millage application for real property and personal property, which the city sends to the county every year in September to describe, define, if you will, what we're going to apply to personal property in the form of whatever you own that's assessed over to real estate and if you own that's assessed. We're currently charging 4.5 mil. I want to suggest to the city council and the county legislation in June. This September we send a letter saying we dropped to 4.1. 4.1 means we had a problem a year ago and we resolved this past winter. So the Fire Pension Board was declared insolvent because we didn't have enough funds to handle the amount of the amount of payments that we were doing. And as a process, it required at least $85,000 infusion of cash, which we did through legislative process in December. We got a letter a week or two later that says we've been removed from the insolvency board by that action, and if we will find a way to continue to do that, because as the assessed valuation in the city grows, the same amount of tax will create greater available millage applied taxes for that purpose. So I'm going to propose we reduce the 4.5 and the 4.5 to 4.1. Now I tried to do this last fall, but the Attorney General's opinion was both had to be taken up or taken down at the same time. We're going to take both of them down to 4.1. What does that mean? It means that we will be putting about another $200,000 into the fire pension fund. We're already putting 150 something in to stabilize it without having to do special legislation every year by raising In the 4-1, on the one side, which is applicable to personal property, 9/10 will be dedicated to the fire pension funding, and the other 3.3 will be dedicated to general fund. The other part that does is it cuts about $150,000 worth of real tax money for the citizens of Benton. So you would be assessing next year for taxes in 2017, and on that model, going from 4.5 to 4.1, you'd pay about $16 to $18 less on your personal property when you evaluate. So if you take the 84 that comes out of the ISO classification and the 16 to 18 that potentially could happen from the 4.5 to 4.1 reduction, we got that $100 we told people we would work so very hard to get done. The third thing I announced was Lillian Street, which is, you're probably familiar, it runs from Sevier all the way to Military Road right by Dale's Donut Shop. Has some real problems. I won't go into the structure of when it was built and what was wrong, but it's been desperately in need. We have funding in the fourth quarter, being able to rebuild half of it from Sevier Street to North Street, and then the other half from North Street to Carpenter or to Military will be done in the first quarter of next year, so that it's consecutive. You come out of the fourth quarter this year with half of it done, we'll fund the other half out of the first quarter next year. So to the public, you'll see the entire thing get done over a period of 6 to 10 months. So those are the major three things that I mentioned this morning. After lunch, we introduced BBDI, officially kicking off the Benton Business Development Initiative, and I think you were there and got a chance to hear for that. So that's pretty much where we are.
All right, thank you, Mayor. We appreciate it.